Guess what? You aren't the problem. You are the solution. You are your own solution. Nothing about you is the problem. Everything about you is your solution. But you've been taught otherwise. You've been taught that you have to be different, that you have to be more, that you have to strive to be something that you are currently lacking. Strive for something you are currently lacking. That you have to be somehow an achiever of things that society tells you should achieve, says you should achieve. If you're a mother, you have to be a super mum. If you're a father, you have to be the provider of amazing amounts of money and wealth and houses and so forth. Why do we have to do that? Why do we have to do anything we're told to do? We don't really know that we have to. We're just believing that we have to. We're just going along with what we've been taught to believe we have to do. But we're not listening to ourselves there. We're not listening to what really is inside of us. We're just listening to what we've been taught and conditioned since children to believe is the thing to be. But this teaches us that as we already are, what we already are, and how we want to express ourselves is the problem. If we're in conflict with how we're supposed to be, then we must be the problem. If we can't achieve what we're supposed to be, then we must be the problem. But we're not the problem. We're the solution. Why do you think you feel uncomfortable in trying to achieve what you try to achieve every single day of your life? Because it stresses you. And why does it stress you? Because in doing that, you're ignoring the way you are and only focusing on the way you should be. So in that way, you're willingly harming and ignoring yourself, pushing yourself beyond limits that you should be pushing yourself, to the point where your whole system becomes distressed and agitated in trying to achieve what you incessantly can never achieve. Constantly never achieving, never good enough, never right enough, never big enough, never fast enough, never clever enough, never what society says you should be and could be if you would only be something better than what you are. If you weren't flawed, then you could be what society needed you to be. But what if it's that society is flawed? What if it's that what you've been taught to think is flawed? In that case, let's look at the other way around, that you're not flawed at all. But you have this stress alert inside of you whenever you're forced or pushed into or conditioned to do, expected to do something that is not good for you, that is harmful to you, that is causing you to lose yourself in the rat race of your life, to lose yourself in the ideas and identifying with the beliefs and the concepts that you've been learned to identify with, whether it be religious, whether it be copy of thinking and behaving like your parents, or thinking and behaving, acting out the thoughts that you were taught to think at school. But you were taught what to think at school. You were taught what to think at home. You were taught what to think in church or in any form of religion. But you weren't taught how to think. You weren't taught where thinking comes from. You only knew that thinking comes from outside of yourself. Everybody thinks that thinking is the knowledge they've gained from outside of themselves, and they need more of that to be smarter. But that's not making you smarter. That is consistently dumbing you down. What makes you smarter is when you listen to yourself. Because when you listen to yourself, you are now getting in touch with your own thinking. This is how to think, not what to think. Society has taught you what to think. But what I'm talking about here is, how do we think? How does thinking come about? It begins as a sensation in the body. It begins as a stress. It begins as a comfort. It begins as a sensation of hunger. It begins as a sensation of cold. That's how thought begins, as a sensation. That's the primary essence of information that then comes forward as your thoughts, as your thinking. And that thinking is your thinking. And your thinking is an expression of your needs, beginning as a sensation in your body. But the body is the only intelligence, the only origin of intelligence that is left, because all of our thinking comes from outside of us. There is no intelligence in thinking that comes from outside of us. That's just repeating what other people have told us to think. That's just mimicking. That's just copying. That's just remembering and regurgitating. That is not intelligence. What the body does is there's a sensation of our own needs. There's a sensation of intelligence in the body that is an alert, that as a feeling and a sensation inside of you. And that alert and feeling inside of you creates any conflict that you have with what you've been told you should be when it's harmful to you. And that's why you have stress. And there's another reason you have stress, not just because internally you're in conflict with what's being imposed on you externally, but what you impose on yourself externally from the external content of your thinking. And your thinking is external. Your thinking, when it's from others, is external. It started out there. It didn't start in here. That's not your thinking anymore then, is it? That's somebody else's thinking that starts externally, that you keep regurgitating and imposing on yourself and making yourself live according to. And this causes stress from the inside. The inside of you, which is the intelligence and the reality of you, gets stressed over that because it's harmful. But there's another reason there's stress there. It's an alert to something wrong. It's not a wrong thing. Your distress and your stress is there not because you are wrong. Yeah? There's nothing wrong with you. You are not the problem. You are the answer. You are the solution. You are your answer and you are your solution. And that answer and that solution is there bubbling out of you in every way you feel, in every day of your life, in relationship to every part of your life. The way you feel in that. That is you coming to life in response to that. That is the origin of your thinking. You're not to override that. And how do you allow the origin of your thinking to mature into your own mentalization? How do you allow that to mature into your own thinking? Not just a sensation, as you feel it. You stay with the feelings. That's why meditation of the body increases intelligence, whereas meditation, which is traditional, decreases intelligence. Meditation, which is traditional, is a repetition of the thoughts you've learnt from outside of yourself, which just numbs you out and stupefies you and homogenizes you. Meditation, which is that of the body, is the origin of sensations in you coming to life and you going through the process and the integration of that. The integration of you. Only you. Not of the world, but of you. Then your relationship with the world is based on your sense of you, of what it is to be you. But if you don't have a sense of what it is to be you, you can't tell the difference between your thoughts and the world's thoughts. And when you can't tell the difference between your thoughts and the world's thoughts, you get lost in the world's thoughts and you try to live up to what the world's thoughts are telling you to be like. And that causes you distress. That causes you disassociation from yourself. That's how you lose your sense of self. How do you get it back? You get it back through simply coming back to the sense of yourself that is there. And it may be there to begin with, just as an ongoing distress inside of you. And today I'm taking this deeper. Last week I spoke about this on a more general level. Today I'm taking this deeper. There are a lot of distresses inside of you. And the distress inside of you that I'm talking about today is the stress that is there for a very good reason, but you no longer know why. And that distress can be an ongoing thing inside of you all the time. You're always feeling on edge. You're always feeling at odds with yourself. You're always feeling at odds with life. Some of these feelings are there because life outside of you is not healthy for you. But some of these feelings are there, and these deeper ones that I'm talking about are because life has already done you harm. You've already been hurt as a child. You've already been traumatized. You've already been harmed. And you don't remember that harm, and you don't remember that trauma. And trauma is not known cognitively. Trauma is what is unique about trauma. It's the harm that is inside of you that you have no conscious recollection of. You have no knowledge of the events that harmed you. That is what really trauma is. When you can remember what's harmed you and you're upset about that, that's one thing. But trauma is a completely different thing. It's so harmful, it's so horrifying, it's so frightening, it's so shocking that you just freeze up into the shock in the moment of trauma. And in that freeze, your thinking about that trauma dissolves, disappears, locks up. You can't remember anymore on a cognitive level. But you're still left forever and a day, for the rest of your life, with that feeling of freeze. And that feeling of freeze is known to you is how it now feels to be me, where you simply can't come into response in life because you find something is always holding you back in many areas of your life. You struggle to come forward. You struggle to express. You struggle to stand up for yourself. You struggle to speak up for yourself. You find yourself a people pleaser. You find yourself so frightened of other people that you're tippy-toeing around them, trying to make them like you all the time. These are all indications of trauma, and you don't actually know why you're like this, because you can't remember what originally made you like that. But something did. That's why you're like that. And this sensation is not your enemy. Even though you don't like it, it's not your enemy. This distress in you is there for a reason. So you only initially know trauma as a feeling in the body. And being with that feeling in the body is very difficult, actually. It's very uncomfortable. And you react, and you squirm, and you get very upset, and you become highly emotionalized and very reactive to other things in life just because you have terrible feelings inside of you that you really don't know how to contain. You really don't know why they're there. That's trauma. Being with those as a sensation in your body, containing those in your body, instead of searching for an outlet, finding what's wrong in my life, what's wrong with this person, what's wrong with my friend, what's wrong with my relationship, what's wrong with me. The question can't be answered because there is nothing wrong with any of that when you're in trauma. When you're feeling your trauma, the answer to why that you feel that way is not out there, and it's not even when you ask yourself what's wrong with me, but you feel there's something wrong with me all the time. That is not going to be answered. The answer is already there. You already have the answer to what's wrong with you, but you only have it in the way you feel. You don't have it as knowledge about why you feel that way. You only have it in how you feel. There's your answer. But it's not the answer you want, but it's the answer you need. And if you know how to use this answer, it will be your solution. So how do you make use of this answer that you already have? The answer that only exists in how it feels to be you, but doesn't exist yet in what you know about why you feel that way. When all you only have is you feel terrible. You feel horrified, you feel terrified, you feel frozen, you feel incapable, you feel whatever it is you feel that you don't like feeling, but you don't know why you feel that way. That feeling is your trauma. When you feel that, just feeling that is acknowledging what you already know. You know, you feel whatever it happens to be. It's your feeling. How do you feel right now? If you're a traumatized person and you're listening to this, what is that underlying feeling deep down inside of you that's always there that just won't go? Yeah. You know that feeling. That's your knowing. So you know how you are. You just don't know yet why you are that way, but that is your knowledge, and that's the knowledge you don't want. The knowledge you want is how to fix that. Yeah. But this is not wrong. Just like I was talking about distress and stress last week, stress is not there as something which is wrong. It's there as an alert. This feeling in you that you don't like the feeling of is an alert to something about yourself that you need to uncover, that you need to know about. Yeah. But you first need to know about it from the depths of the feeling of what it's like inside of you. The first stage of your learning about this is not mentally, but at a felt sense. The more you stay with this feeling inside of you, whenever it arises, rather than freaking out about it, rather than reacting to it, you're allowed to do that too, and you will do that. But keep coming back to those moments you can just stay with that distress inside of you. It's very deep, this is. You'll find it in your body, somewhere in your body, and you'll feel it there. And it might be in different parts of your body depending on what's coming up for you. If you've been traumatized, you've been hurt badly, and many, many times. And so you'll feel that. Feeling that is the only thing you can do, because you can't cognitively remember what it's about. You can't mentalize it. You can't put a story to it. You don't know the event, or you're unsure of it. So be unsure of it. Don't worry about answering that question. You simply need to get to know the part of you that's in pain. You have a whole another person there, a whole another part of you that you've lost contact with. Yet it still plagues you. It still bothers you. Yeah, it still creates constant distress and stress inside of you. So this is the deepest form of distress there is. It's not day-to-day distress with what's going on around you. This is really deep. And it needs to be dealt with in exactly the same way, though. It's just that it's a lot harder because it has a lot more intensity about it, and it's bothered you for a lot longer. It's been screaming at you for a lot longer. So let it scream. But just come back into that distress. Be that distress. Instead of saying, I hate this, you're saying, I hate this feeling. Try saying, I hate me. See what that does. I hate being like this. I hate this feeling. What you're really saying is, I hate me. Because that feeling is you. It's another part of you. Try it. Instead of saying, I hate this and I hate this feeling, just, I hate me. See if you can really say, I hate me. To yourself, I mean. Can you really say that? I hate me. When you say, I hate me, see what difference that makes to saying, I hate that, like it's not even you, like it's something separate to you. You're always treating it like it's something separate to you, this deep pain, because you have separated from it. That's why you always treat it like it's something separate. But what I'm wanting to get you to do is to reunite with it, to reintegrate with it. And that's how you begin to heal your trauma and heal your separation, heal your disassociation, is what are you feeling when you're saying, I hate this? And what are you feeling when you say, I hate me? I hate being me. Just being me. Just be me. Be you. Be what you are. And let it be there. This is an alert from inside of you. And this is the deeper cause of stress. It is not there because it's wrong. It's there because it's right. It's there and it's going to be there until you give it all the attention it needs. And the attention it needs is very important. What attention to give it? What is the right attention to give your pain, to give your trauma? What is the right attention to give sensations you find very difficult to bear, very difficult to experience, very difficult to be with? Yet they're there without any control of yours. You can't stop them. You can't get rid of them. They're just there. What is the right attention to give these feelings? The right attention is to feel them, to actually feel them. How do you feel them? They're too distressful. Feel them as you, as a part of you, within the body of you. If it's in the body of you, you are this body. And everything that's contained within the boundaries of your skin, all the way inside of you, is every part of you. And there are many different parts to you. And there's many parts of you, both physically and psychologically, that you have dismissed and disassociated from, switched off from. So you're numb to different parts of yourself when you're traumatized, particularly to those areas that have been involved in the direct violence of trauma. But for today, I'm wanting you to look at this feeling, this felt feeling of you that you think is your enemy, that you think is wrong. It's not wrong for you to feel this way. It's not wrong that you are in this distress. This distress is an alert that's been crying out from inside of you your whole life. And why is it crying out? Because it just needs the right attention. Just needs the right attention. I've been working with trauma now for more than 35 years, and I'm very, very successful, been very successful in helping people heal their trauma simply because of this unique approach that others don't have. And the unique approach is that trauma's got nothing to do with psychology. Trauma has nothing to do with what you think. Psychiatry and psychology will not help trauma, because trauma is not that. Trauma is a physical sensation in the body. The memory is held in the body. All memory is held as sensations in the body. And trauma in particular is a physicalized sensation, is entirely in your body. There's no escape from what you are as a body. There you have it. So there's where you feel and heal your trauma. So to begin with, you need a good foundation to go into this healing process. And that's why I'd like you to use my app, Undo app. This will take you through a 14-chapter process of really learning all the things you haven't been taught about yourself as to what it is to be a human being and how we function. How we function physically and psychologically, and in the combination of that, how we function as a whole integrated human being. And when we split from that integration into a mental state and a physical state, how this creates all of our problems, and how to resolve that split, how to come back into the sense of yourself in the body, because that's the only place you have a sense of yourself. In your thinking, you have ideas about who you're supposed to be. You have ideas that you've learnt from other people. But in your body, you have the direct sense of what you are and how you are. And that's how you really should be. And that's how you are. But learning from yourself is very, very important. How do we learn from ourselves? We don't learn from ourselves like we learn from outside. Outside, we learn through words and thoughts and knowledge and information, and we're taught. This is very dangerous, because this is also how we get influenced and indoctrinated and brainwashed and stupefied. Whereas how we learn from ourselves is not through thinking about ourselves. How we learn from ourselves is through feeling the way we are on the inside from the inside. We learn from ourselves by feeling all the sensations and feelings that are constantly showing up inside of us. We learn how we are. We learn to be with ourselves as we are. The more we stay with the felt level of ourselves, what I mean, not emotionalizing, but feeling, sensing in the body, the more we stay with that, the more we learn from ourselves. And you'll find all your memories, all information about you, which is relevant to you, is in one place only. And that is, it's inside of you. Anything you need to know, anything you need for your well-being, is only accessible inside of you. You won't get it outside of you. Nothing outside of you is about you. Nothing outside of you is telling you about what it's like to be you. You're only going to understand you from what is already there inside of you. So what's going on inside of you is the constant sensations in the body of you. You're going to have to resensitize to those again, of course. But the easiest one to resensitize is when you feel distress. You feel that stress and you don't want that stress. It doesn't matter what you want, it's what you've got. It's not, you think you don't want it because you think it's bad for you. You think stress itself is wrong, but stress itself is an alert, a warning to get your attention. The reason it feels awful is to get your attention. This is the innate intelligence of the body. It creates sensations, and it expands on those sensations. It's not really quite the right word. It increases in those sensations until it gets all the attention it needs. So those sensations will only get stronger and stronger and stronger if you keep ignoring them. And as soon as you start giving those sensations of stress the right attention, which is to simply feel yourself in a state of stress, as soon as you start doing that, within a very short time, that stress will start to calm a little, because that's the living stress in you, the living person in you that is saying, I need attention. Give me this attention. Feel my presence. Feel my presence in you. That's what stress is saying. Feel my presence in you. Come back to you. And this is what you're getting from inside of you. And this is what enables the stress to dissipate and show you what it's drawing your attention to. And for a traumatized person, there will be a lot of information all about you, that you have forgotten, that you don't know about. But it begins with a very big process of getting to know you on a feeling level. Because for the traumatized person, you have disassociated from so many feelings of what it is to be you, so much of the life of you. And the life of you exists as a feeling. How do you know that you are alive? Because it's a sensation. The feeling is the life. Thinking is not life. Thinking is dead. It's empty. The word thought, the word sad doesn't contain the feeling of sadness. It's not alive. But the actual feeling that we call sadness, which we all have our own sense of sadness, that's a living part of you. So the life of you exists as all the feelings inside of you that you yourself have been ignoring and disassociated from. Start with the distress that's calling out to you. Start with the things that you cannot ignore because they've got so over alarmed and over alert to get your attention to the need inside of you so that you can begin to be drawn back into the feeling and the sense of you in the body of you. And that feeling is where you begin to learn, you learn about yourself again. That's where you come to know yourself again. So you know yourself when you feel yourself. You can't know yourself through thinking about yourself. And for everybody, we need to learn how to catch our stress at the earliest stage. If we can catch our stress at the earliest stage of stress, it will dissipate. It will settle down. It's when we continually ignore this alert of stress inside of ourselves. As we go through our day, we ignore little things that bother us. We don't want to feel them. We have been conditioned heavily into avoiding pain and pursuing pleasure, always wanting to feel good, always wanting to feel nice. This is a stupefaction of us. This is not in our best interest. Our best interest is to be able to feel all the feelings that we have inside of us. And when distress shows up, to be able to give that equally calm attention to pleasure, to calmness, to whatever is going on inside of us. So stress is there. It's there for a reason. Why don't we just pay attention when it comes? Why do we not just be with that straight away? Give that attention immediately. The sooner you allow your attention to be drawn into the stress, the sooner it will calm down and the sooner it will dissipate. If you keep ignoring that stress, it will only build up, get louder, get stronger. As the day you go through and the situations you go through day by day keep adding more and more to that stress until it's absolutely screaming at you and you feel totally distressed. Don't avoid your stress and you will not become distressed. Don't avoid your stress and you will not become distressed. Be with your stress, understanding it's an alert to what you need to be feeling in that moment. Because in your body, you are picking up on something. Your body is far more intelligent than you're thinking. It picks up on things all the time. It picks up on something being harmful to you, being too much for you. When you're frightened by someone, you're distressed by someone, it allows you to know that. When you're overriding yourself, it allows you to know that. When you're pushing yourself too hard and harming yourself, it allows you to know you are. Yeah? And how does it do that? You become stressed. You tense up. You are actually tensing up. And when you're tensing up, what's happening is in stress, you are in a way fighting against continuing doing what you're doing. In stress, you're fighting against continuing being where you are. In stress, you're fighting against the life you're leading. That doesn't mean you have to drop all of those, the life you're leading, the things you're doing and so on. It means you have to pay attention to the stress that you're causing yourself through losing yourself in those activities and overriding your needs in those activities. Through stress and listening to it as an alert, as soon as it comes, know it. As soon as it comes, acknowledge it. But acknowledge it and feel it. Just stop for a moment. Feel, where is the distress in my body? Right now, just feeling any distress in your body. Feel it. Don't try and get rid of it. Feel it. And that is often all you need to do day by day, moment by moment throughout your day. Just stop and feel the stress is enough to calm you down, to bring you back into contact with yourself, with your needs, and reset the pace of your day. Because you get faster and faster and faster. The more you get distressed, the faster you become, the less effective you become, the more confusing your thinking becomes. Feel that stress. Feeling that stress will reset you again. Feel it, and you'll feel it gradually becomes less uncomfortable. And you become more grounded, more rooted back in the body of you. Then you start again. Get on with your day. And as you get too speedy, too distressed by the various things that are happening, feel that distress again. But the sooner you feel it, and the more often you feel it, the better you will function throughout the day. The more you'll get done, the more effective you'll be, and the less harmful your life will be for you, until eventually you can stop the harm altogether. And how you stop the harm altogether is not that you won't get stressed, but you resolve the stress by living with it whenever it's there. You eventually learn to be with distress automatically, because you learn that it's not your enemy. It's simply helping you stay grounded in the pace of life that suits your well-being, that suits you, in which you function the best. Okay, so thanks for listening. And for those of you who are listening in regards to the trauma or would like more help with that, I'm available online. You just have to look up my website on quietretreats.com. It tells you all about my meditation retreats, which is another very, very powerful way of healing. And or you can simply download the app and get started with that. And this will give you the education you need to support you through your healing process, so you actually get through it unscathed from the intensity of what you'll be up against sometimes, particularly if you are beginning in a traumatized state. So now we're going to have a meditation to help you deal directly with stress. Just sitting still, just physically still, and begin to notice nothing more than all the different types of sensations that are in your body, that are there right now. So quite simply, how does it feel to be you right now? And if you're not used to feeling, which most people aren't, you may feel numb, almost as though you can't find the answer to that question of how does it feel to be you right now? And if you feel numb, just feel that way. That's also a feeling. That's also an indication of your condition. So just notice either numb or notice stress if it is there. But notice it not as a mental construct, not as your thinking would describe it, but deeper than that, how it actually exists as a sensation in you right now. Any sensation in you right now that isn't purely calm. There's a type of stress. And that stress is not there to harm you. It's there to alert you. It's there to capture your attention. And because it's a bit uncomfortable, it does capture it. Even when you try to ignore your stress, you still feel stressed. You try to distract yourself from your stress, and you struggle. You struggle to enjoy the distraction. And after a while, you just feel stressed again. That's okay. There's a good reason for this. The stress is an alert. The stress is a feeling in your body alerting you to something being out of balance, something you need to be more aware of. And all you have to do is feel the stress as a sensation within your body somewhere. Not think about it or analyze it, and not try to change it, because it doesn't need to be any different to what it is. It's exactly as it should be. Remember, the stress you're feeling is there for the reason and the purpose of capturing your attention, of drawing you away from what it is you're trying to do, back into the stress itself, back into the stress within your body, to feel that as it is, from the inside of that stress itself. You are stress. A part of you is in a state of stress. So just be that stress. Don't fight it. Be it. Really immerse yourself back into the stress that is you. Be that stress. Just feel it now. You'll feel it within your torso. You'll feel it in your chest and your throat. You may feel it in other areas too. Wherever you feel it, know that that's not something wrong. It's the beginnings of taking you to what is wrong. It's an alert, calling your attention. It is the bridge to your connection with whatever needs your attention. And the beginning point is to feel the stress. And there it is, just feeling the stress, being the stress, but not fighting it. Remember, it's not wrong, it's just an alert. And if you feel it, it will calm down. If you fight it, it will amp up. If you try to ignore it, it will exacerbate even more, simply to get your attention. So give in to it. Be it. Give it a chance to sort itself out. Feel the stress for a while. Be the stress. And let the stress and your being fully with the stress settle you down. It's okay to be stressed. Just don't think about the stress. Feel it. Sense it through your body. It's okay to be stressed. And if you feel it, your system will begin to relax, getting the right attention that it needs. It will begin to relax. And the right attention to being stressed is to be in the stress, to be the stress. And feeling this is how your system will begin to recover from the effects of your life that are causing this stress. You don't even need to know what they are. You just need to let the stress work its magic. Just being the stress, not fighting it. This is the natural meditation of the body, to be exactly as you are, however you are, to be that. And let that have its own effect. Let that take care of the stress. The act of just being the stress enables the stress to dissolve, to settle down. And this is the beginning of you learning how to live with the alerts of stress in your life. The beginning of learning how to listen to and be guided by the inner world of you. Thanks for joining me today. If this talk resonated with you or helped you in any way at all, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the talk with your friends so that they can get the benefit as well. Okay, bye for now.